Christina.
I'm Maya from
Wholesome
Dreams, and welcome to a new video. So today we are actually starting a reading vlog. So
Yes.
Christina and I are participating in a buddy read with Vesna and Antonija from Morina, Kutija. And we are reading T. Kingfisher, I always forget the name, A House with Good Bones. You can show them the book here. So this is a horror. Is it a horror?
Yes, it's classified as a horror.
Okay. And
I even saw cozy horror.
Cozy horror. Well, technically, not a lot of scary stuff has happened so far.
But
anyway, basically the plan is, since we don't live in the same city, this is like a extraordinary moment where we find ourselves in the same city, in the same room and whatnot. So we decided to divide this book into 3 parts, and we're going to start with part 1. But before we start, Christina is actually going to tell you what the book is about.
So, A House with Good Bones is the story of Samantha Montgomery. She is an archaeoentomologist.
Yes.
So she basically looks for bugs in archaeological digs. However, she is on a sabbatical because something happened and her project that she's working on has stopped for the moment, and she returns to her kind of family home where her mother lives, and she stays there kind of for the time of this sabbatical. But as she comes home, her eclectic home has turned into this stark white racist pictures on the wall saying grace and similar things.
Basically, it went back into the past.
Basically, that was yes. It went back to the past, how it was when her grandma lived there, Grandma, and it almost kind of the white color and the pictures and everything are kind of a reflection of how the house was when Gran was alive.
Yes.
And as the days go by, we start to see weird things happening.
Okay.
And that's it.
So, for part 1, first of all, I don't read for horror, so I wasn't sure what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to read. It wasn't scary until the bugs came, and I'm not a big fan of bugs. But you know, I think if it weren't for that T. Kingfisher wrote this, I think I wouldn't have picked it at all, because it doesn't sound something that I would be interested in. But but you can see like the elements of T. Kingfisher's writing that I've known from her fantasy stuff. So there's some humor. There's like, can we call Samantha quirky? Like, she had, not quirky, but there's this element of her like...
She is quirky. Like, she is like a character that you wouldn't typically kind of find in
horror, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, she's really into bugs, and like there's a lot of kind of mentions of different kinds of bugs and what she does for work, and like there's a lot of bug talk.
Yes,
basically.
There's a lot of bug talk. I mean, I thought that like finding herself in this situation that she has. So she's coming home. The house is like back in history where Grandma was alive. I thought that there would be more anxiety about the whole situation and more like, I guess, horror. I mean, horror. I don't know what feelings to associate with horror. I feel like there were supposed to be like a rising dread. Maybe we haven't gotten to that because we only read the first 3 days of this 9 days adventure. So what do you think?
I watched like a couple of minutes of Antonija and Vesna's reading log.
I didn't, because I thought there would be spoilers, so
I stopped after a couple of minutes because I realized I haven't read the book and it's a reading log about the book they're rereading.
Yeah,
so it was like, Anyways, I think Antonija mentioned that it was like it almost a gothic feel. That it has almost a gothic feel. So where it's not really jump scares and like
I know,
but true like gore horror, but more like literally cozy, soft, building anticipation and everything. There is a point like at the end of like the 3rd day where she does start to feel anxious. So I think it's gonna build up as we go. There's also like I didn't see it while I read it, but I saw like a comment in a Goodreads review. How the vultures actually gain in numbers as the days go by. Like the first day there's only the one vulture, and then there's 2 vultures circling around her.
Oh, circling around her. I only think of the one that's on the mailbox.
Yeah, but it's kind of, I think that's also a premonition of some kind, that there is
an omen. Stuff is going to happen.
Thank you. Yes,
stuff
omen.
is going to happen.
Yes.
I have a theory. First of all, so as Sam goes home and her mother is now sort of reverting to grandma behavior, I'm like, is the house listening to like what's happening?
Yeah, I thought that too.
Like is grandma somehow like came back from the dead? So is she like a
like,
ghost of her? Is it there? But we haven't really seen much.
Yeah,
we
I was like,
see the
is
influence.
did she, I don't know, went into the walls, or because she lived there for so long, she kind of, like
is everywhere? Like her essence is like.
Yes, that I was like, is it that?
Because I was like, when she went into the garden.
Or are her bones somewhere in the house? Actually,
you think?
I mean, it's a house with good bones.
Well, I don't know, because when she like my like first moment of like, okay, something like supernatural or whatever creepy is happening is when Sam went into the garden and there are no bugs in the garden.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's weird. and from then on, like stuff started happening. But it seemed to me like we find out later that grandma really wasn't the nicest person ever. And at one point, she basically impaled Sam's hand on the roses, and there was like a line of like, let them taste you. So I thought like maybe because of that, since Sam while looking at the garden and she somehow sees one ladybug, she like had the thought like, oh, I wish there were more ladybugs. And like that night she had like a ladybug swarm in her room, which was so gross. When she put like she puts her leg on the floor, and there was a crunch. I literally threw my Kindle away. I was like, no. Like I know it's going to be bugs. I know I thought it was going to be like not ladybugs, but it's going to be like awful bugs. And I was like, nope. And I like went around the house and then I continued on reading. But yeah, then I thought like, oh, maybe now like the house is listening to her or whatnot, because the roses tasted her blood, whatnot. So that's maybe something that happens. We'll see what happens in the next part.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think like about the whole change. Because obviously something's happening to her mother too.
Yes.
Because she's reverting everything to grandma's.
Yeah, she's becoming very anxious and very like.
And she's very afraid.
Yes.
Like there's like literally, like scenes where she comes back early from a trip to make sure that Samantha is fine, and Samantha's brother is also like completely weirded out by their mother's behavior, and like obviously there's stuff
Something's happening.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be just like a slow burn.
Okay, so what are your predictions for the next part?
So
I think there's gonna be more bugs, which I'm not looking forward to.
I mean, there's obviously gonna be bugs because like there's too much talk of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually wondering what's the significance of the roses, because like at the beginning of each day, there's a description of a rose.
Did you Google them?
Yes, I did.
Like? Okay.
Yes, I did. And for example, like the one where she steps on the ladybugs, like the rose is a ladybug rose in the beginning.
Okay.
So I'm guessing like
and your cover is filled with roses. I just noticed that.
Yes, the cover is filled with roses.
And the back
because like grandma has like this big garden of roses, different kinds of roses,
and no bugs.
And like at the beginning of chapter you have different roses, and like for example in the first day Samantha deals with the fact that like there's like this stark white like like completely different color on the walls compared to before, and the flower that is in the beginning, the rose, is actually like a white rose with light pink.
So I should be googling roses at the beginning of every day. Okay, all right. So yeah,
I mean, I just found it interesting. Like the ladybug one. I mean, the name itself is like I guess like a hint. At least in that third day where the ladybugs come. But I'm sorry, this is like totally hilarious, but one rose is called Beverly Jenkins, like the author of the historical romance novels.
Okay.
I couldn't find that rose for the sake of me. Like I was googling it for like 3 days, and then I realized that it's called just Beverly. Or maybe it is called Beverly Jenkins somewhere, but I found the Beverly one and it fits the description. It's like hilarious. Because I literally have like I don't know where my booklet is. Like I have literally like, look, a note, can't find it. just the author. Like, yeah. So I'm kind of wondering, do roses have something to do? Like, the roses are somehow connected to the whole. I mean, they're on the book. They're
So like my theory was, until we started talking, was that to get rid of the evil, she would have to kill the vulture that's on the what's that called? Where you get the
mailbox.
Mailbox, yes. But now it might be that she would have to pull out the roses from the garden, and then that would be like. Anyway, we'll see.
But how is the evil connected to the house? Like, is it just because the house is on the grounds where the roses are?
I think so. We'll see when we continue reading.
Yeah. But the title is House, so I'm guessing the roses are just a portion of, like...
Maybe they cremated Grandma, and then I put her on the rose bed, but we would have learned about that already, I think.
Yeah, she would have said something, I guess.
I don't know. We'll see when we continue reading.
Yes.
So, let's talk about part 2 of the book. So I've read it. You've read it.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Well, first off, I want to ask you, are you scared? Like, are you feeling the dread? Are you like, because for me, it's just,
I'm not
it's just like there are things that I realize should be creepy and scary, but somehow they completely are not to me. Like, there was the whole ladybug incident again, and then there was the whole hand incident.
But also, yeah, I was reading that, I was like, okay, so someone's like, something is like combing her hair, and then I think this is the part where we find out about the underground, the hand from the bushes.
Yes.
In the picture. I'm like, okay. I was more annoyed by the fact that Sam wasn't having a more, I don't want to say dramatic reaction, but she was taking it stride all the time, and I'm like, aren't you worried? Like, mysterious shit is happening, and you're not like having any kind of reaction other than, oh, okay, this is like, she's logically explaining things away, and it was annoying.
I think that's actually part of her character, because she's a scientist. So a scientist would actually, I think, act like she does. She will first try to find a logical explanation to whatever she's seeing, like in that part where she sees the hand on the picture, and she first goes to other people to confirm whether they see the picture as well. And I think we're just more used to people like reacting instinctively to something like that, in the sense that it would be, oh my god, there's a hand.
Yes, I was missing the freaking out moments. Like, that's what I wanted, and that's not what I got. And it was the second part I skimmed. Every time she started rationalizing things, I'm like, okay, I don't.
Yeah,
I want you to like. I wanted her to sort of take the supernatural in consideration of what was happening, and that wasn't what was happening, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And Gail, it was the second part where she went to talk to Gail. That was the most like annoying. Like, she knows, but she doesn't tell her, and I'm like,
yes, that's so stupid. Like, why don't you share information? I hate that in any book. Like, I don't know. There was also some book, like in most books, like that's what like adults do to children, basically. Most like young adult and middle grade books, they know what's happening. They have important information for them, and yet they just kind of keep quiet. And this is what Gail did. Only Sam is an adult, and she should know stuff, and she would be capable of, I guess, of understanding, or just but I'm just really missing the whole, like, when am I gonna get to the scared part, because like there's this whole part about sleep paralysis, which
you're the one. I was like, oh my god, Christina is afraid of this. Might be a problem.
Very afraid. I'm really very afraid of that. And like, for example, when Antonia did the description in her novella, oh my god, the teacher one, I can't remember. Okay, but anyways,
It's not from inside. The other one. Oh my god.
The other one.
Read it and
what do nightmares dream of?
Yeah.
That is the one. And I was so freaking scared. I was like genuinely terrified. And here I was like, oh, okay, so she's experiencing this. Okay, it was so, clinical. Like her reaction to everything is clinical.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no emotion attached to it, I guess. Or she does say that she's freaking out, but I just like it's not conveyed to me as a reader.
All right, so basically our expectations are different, and we don't read gothic horror, and that's why I guess.
No. Yes, and like the thing you said about Gail about not sharing information, isn't Sam's mom equally frustrating because she is basically the source of all the information and stuff that's happening in the house, and she doesn't say anything. She just like. I think maybe the creepiest thing for me are those little notes that she leaves around. Like that's like what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just wrong expectations definitely. And I still don't know what to think about what's happening. Is Gail really a witch? Is there some is there some kind of family curse because she mentioned like skipping a generation? Like did actually grandma was the grandma some kind of, I don't know, sacrifice to the house because the house is the one that's creepy and like the people who are there need to sacrifice themselves in order to, I don't know, save the rest of the family. Like I don't know, like so I'm not feeling it. At this moment.
Thing is, I don't know. I finished the book because I couldn't stop. But I'm not telling you shit. But it went in a completely like left field way that I didn't like. So I don't know. So what are your predictions for the last part?
I don't know. I just literally have no bloody idea because like for the moment I don't really care. I'm just reading it because we agreed to this buddy read, and I really don't want to like disappoint everyone and just like. But I mean, I'll read it. It's quickly. You read it quickly and everything. I'll read it today. Finish it today. So we'll catch up tomorrow. But one thing I forgot about the first part. I really liked one quote. Let me just find it. It was it felt very, how do you say, Sam's mom said it, but that's how I feel currently. And it's someday you'll get to an age where you die a little whenever someone doesn't get your movie references. Because I was like watching like a show and somebody mentioned Hugh Grant and like the people there were like, who is Hugh Grant? And I was like,
how do you not know who
am I this old? What's happening? So just a fun little note that has actually nothing to do with the book, but there you go.
The same feeling of like that you had while reading this part is the same feeling I had reading this part, because I was like, if I didn't agree to read this, if it wasn't T. Kingfisher, as I said in the first part when we talked about the first part, I would have DNF'd. I mean, not because it's badly written. I mean,
no,
but it's just like it's not gripping me at all. Like, and the explanation in the end was so disappointing to me that I was like, like why? Seriously? So we'll talk.
Okay, maybe you're setting me up with good expectations now, so I'll be like better. Like maybe I'll like the end better because you lowered my expectations right now, like a ton.
It's not the ending; it's the explanation of the whole thing that I did not like.
Okay.
Like the reasoning behind everything. So when you read it, you'll understand, and then we'll talk about it. I'll probably talk about it more with Antonija and Vesna in the live show. But
Okay.
Are you ready to talk about the end of the book?
I am.
Okay, so what are your thoughts?
So here's the thing. You really did lower my expectations, so I just kind of
went in expecting nothing.
So I lowered your expectations.
Yes, you did.
Okay. So was
But
that helpful or not?
But actually, like the last part of the book, like the whole 9 day, the day or night or nowhere, and those two, like the second to last and the third to last chapter. How do you say those? But like those, the 9 day and the day or night or nowhere, were very exciting. Like I really like them because it was like the whole dinner scene was crazy, and then the
Yes.
whole thing was also crazy,
Mhm.
and the children, like the children were creepy. Like
Yes.
I'll give her that. The children were creepy. But like on this, when I started, like after we talked, and when I started like the 7 day, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Is this going to be some kind of religious thing? Because there was the whole Telema religion thing, and then I was like, the void substance, are there really witches? What is going on? And there was like at some point, what is Phil somehow involved? Is Phil the bad guy here? Because I didn't know. Like there were a lot of you say red herrings, like that lead you like in completely wrong directions, basically. And I don't know. In the end, I kind of liked it.
Okay.
And the jar of teeth was really interesting.
That was
to
kind of crazy.
find
So, my not problem with the book, but the thing I didn't like is the explanation behind the whole thing. Like when they explained that it was magic, I was like, really magic? Like, couldn't it be science? Like, couldn't like the great grandfather whatever like use science to Frankenstein the kids, not like whatever he did magically to create them? And it was just I don't know.
Yeah.
That was kind of tripping me up the entire time because it was like really magic.
Yeah, to me I didn't mind it, but the whole thing was a bit yucky to me because because of the whole he mated with by giving his substance to like
Earth.
And like then as we were talking, I realized that like the children actually kind of resembled semen.
Oh god.
In a way, so that just now it just has turned very yucky, like the whole thing, although like those chapters were really interesting to me at least, and now they're just yucky and like but I still like the book. Like I don't even know how to explain it. I'm still digesting it and trying to kind of resolve my thoughts and like about it.
It was
I don't even know
easy.
like how many stars I would give it.
Yeah.
Like I really don't.
Like it was very easy to read. That's definitely. I liked Sam as a main character. I mean, I was annoyed by Gail and not sharing her new. I hate it when people like know stuff but they don't tell you stuff and I'm like you could have helped. You know. And I do enjoy
everything could have been resolved. Like actually, when you think about it, like at dinner, Grandma could have just told them like what to do. But she was so frustrated and like angry that she was just like, fine, you don't want me here, I'm not gonna help you. And like he was like such a petulant child. Like crazy. But then again, if you think about it, like we got the background to why she is the way she is. Like Sam said, I pity the girl that she was, not the adult that she became. Like, to be fair, you could understand why grandma became the person she was, but like and I liked actually that Gail was like, I don't know what it is. Yes, I'm a witch, but I don't know this kind of magic. I'm trying to do something magic-y. Leave me alone.
Yes.
Like it was very
it was like, very it had humor throughout the story, which is also like a part of T. Kingfisher's writing. So it was enjoyable in that way. But still, I'm like, I can't get over the fact that the answer was magic and not science. Like, couldn't you like have some lightning and whatnot to like make a Frankenstein babies? Not whatever he did. But yeah, I mean, the last part of it when they were in the hole wasn't, I mean, as tense. Because I was still thinking about the whole it's magic, not science part. But I liked how everything resolved in the end. And I liked, I mean, generally, I mean, it's an okay book. And I'm going to read the one that I mistakenly bought
Yeah.
instead of the one that we were supposed to read. I'm going to read that, but I think I like Mighty Kingfisher when she writes
Romance better.
romance fantasy and stuff, and not this.
Yeah, I'm still gonna try it. I have the Hollow Places. That's the one you bought, right? I'm gonna try that. Maybe if you didn't notice, but probably you did, we had a lot of technical difficulties filming this part of the vlog. So sorry for that. I will do my best in the editing phase to like make it work. But like
maybe I should have waited until my time, like to when less people were online, I guess.
Yeah,
I can't really.
Yeah,
like,
but I think we should just wrap it up. I think we have talked enough,
right?
Because as we mentioned a couple of times, we're gonna have a live stream with Antonija and Vesna from Morina, kutija. And we're gonna have a link to that down below. It was actually, we're posting this later. It was on Thursday the 27th, and we will be putting that up on our channel at some point also, so you can both watch it at their channel and our channel as well. But as I said, all the links will be down below, so please like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
Click the bell button if you want to get notifications whenever we post new videos.
And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the new video. Bye.
Bye.